Big shout out to the entire team here. Royal Oath is more than just an insurance agent. They're your promise keepers. Whether it's auto, home, business, life, or health insurance, they're here to protect what matters to you most. You can check them out at royaloathinsurance.com or give them a call at 586-238-3535. And of course, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends at Connection, the CRM built for closers. If you're a real estate agent, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking to automate, follow up, and close more deals and stay top of mind, then Connection is your secret weapon. Go to yourconnection.com and take control of your pipeline today. Now, whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or X, catching the replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you stream, we're glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. All right, guys, let's get locked in. We've got a powerhouse show lined up today, and if you're in business or real estate or just building something big, this one is for you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Elite Real Estate Podcast. And if you're joining us live, if you're listening to us later, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel at eliteedgenetwork.com, and then check us out there. So I am super excited this morning. I always get excited when I have in-studio guests. It's so much more fun to just get actual face-to-face and not face-to-screen. But Miss Alisha,
Alisha Congioloso.
Yeah, there we go. Congioloso. I had it. I should have had the nerve to just say it. Congioloso.
You should have practiced.
I know I should have. You can't call me out on my own show. Oh man, but I'm super glad to get you in. We've tried to get you in. But we got here.
Yep,
we got here. We're here. And you do a ton of things. But the biggest thing you do is like connect people, right? Like you just put people together, put people in the same room, and whether that's big business, small business, owners, whoever,
yep.
you're the connector. And basically in Michigan and specifically like Macomb County, Southeast Michigan, right?
Yeah. So we do a lot of work in the Tri-County area. I think that one of my favorite things about all of the stuff that we do is that we are able to connect businesses across the counties, across the communities, and help some of these communities kind of hold hands from a business standpoint. I think that every organization that falls into the category of mine has really got to be focused on the business economics here in Michigan.
Yeah.
If we're gonna say that we're gonna support businesses, that's what we got to do. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
And you've got a big network of businesses and people that you put together all the time. Like we were just talking, you actually got to go to a networking event last night that you weren't running.
That doesn't happen very often.
Right.
It was really cool, actually.
You got to actually go enjoy it, not worry about
Yes.
all the things that were happening around everything. Yeah. Oh man. So tell me the story. How did this come about? Like, where did this idea come from of putting businesses together?
It starts off kind of funny, actually. So I was about 42 years old, and I'd been arguing with myself for a couple years that I needed to start my own business, but I didn't want to. I was in corporate America. I was a business consultant, and I was so tired of all of the plan B stuff that, corporate America operates on. It's like, why can't we just do it right the first time and make things easier?
It's funny how we just waste money in corporate America.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Don't get me started, Jim.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a Monday morning, and I woke up, and I'm in there brushing my teeth. It's 5:00 in the morning, and I'm dreading going to work. And I'm like, I just didn't like the people I worked with. I didn't like the company. I didn't like what we did every day. And I was looking at 8 or 9 hours of sitting in a corporate office, or like a corporate boardroom, talking about really, really dumb things,
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was wasting my life. And so, it resulted in a whole argument between me and the mirror.
That happens. Yeah.
Like, why are you standing in your own way? Right? You're the only person you ever let hold you back. And here you are. And so before the end of the day, I developed my brand, and I had my logo, I had a website, I went and got a DBA. I was ready to go. And then I realized that not every business owner in the world wants a business consultant.
Yeah.
I lied to myself hardcore.
They don't all want one, but they most need one.
Yeah. So, and I think that that's ultimately where the journey led us, right? So, I probably took about 1.5 years of just kind of creating a reputation within the community to say, first, I'll do what I say I'm going to do. And second, that you can trust me. You know, I guess the biggest lesson that I learned in those first couple of years was that, you know, we're fiercely protective of our blood, sweat, and tears. Right.
Yeah.
And every small business owner in the world is fiercely protective of their book and their books and their foundation. And, you know, one, they secretly know that they need help, but at the same time, they're really afraid to say, okay, I'm going to bare my soul and I'm going to hope that I can trust you for real. Right.
Right.
And that's a real fear, because no one wants to let someone into their intimate space and then have them blab everything all over town. And, you know, and a lot of times that's what people are concerned about. And so, you know, I spent 18 months building my brand, and then, you know, and then business just kind of launched. But what I learned in those first 2 years is that we have a lot of business owners out there that really need support. They, at one point in time or another, had the same conversation, the same mirror conversation that I did, right? Tired of whatever it was that they were doing, felt like they could do it better. And the bottom line is that typically that's all about process. You know, like I can go to my desk and I can do these things and I'm really good at this and I'm the best candle maker in the whole world. And you probably are. But the problem is that you don't have the foundation to go the rest of the way, right?
Right.
Best candle maker in the world. But if you don't know how to manage your books and you don't know how to develop a foundation for longevity of brand, it's gonna die on you.
Yeah.
And now all your blood, sweat, and tears are all gone. And so investing in a business consultant is really investing in your own self, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny because, you know, last year I did some research over the summer, and do you know that we've had more than 17 million new businesses since COVID?
Really?
Yeah.
Like here?
Just here in the United States, more than 17.1 million businesses have been created since COVID.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah. And so
like, how many of those actually work?
Those people and what happened to their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's insane. And it's scary.
Very scary.
And so
I thought the rate on realtors getting in and out of the business was bad. Because that's like a 90%, 92% failure rate.
Yeah. And if you think about it, like there's only 7% that actually make it to 3 years,
right?
Let alone 5. And so typically you've invested your savings and you've invested all your blood, sweat, and tears, and typically the time that you had with your family and your kids and your wife or whatever, and now you feel a lot defeated because the money's gone and your family's mad at you, and you know, and you're a hot mess.
Yeah.
Right? And so during those couple of years, I mean, just really truly understanding that there's a lot of business owners out there that just need and want to do better and for themselves and for their families. And they just wanted to pursue their dreams. They didn't have the education that was needed.
Right.
And so we developed Impact Business Community to provide those education pieces outside of the forum of going to school.
Right.
You know, to me, experience teaches everything. It's the best teacher, right? And so if you can come in to a conference or a growth lab or a workshop and you can talk to us about applying your experience, just like yesterday, we had a panel of experts and you sat in on that. There were so many people that walked up to me yesterday and said, man, I really took a lot away from this. I'm really glad I came this morning. You know, I'm really glad that I participated in this. And we did 4 more last year that had the same result. Like people are like, thank you so much for all of this, you know, all the information that you're providing. And so we honestly, Impact has come out of the gate and landed like right now today. This is an animal that just kind of started striding by itself. It's not anything that I thought it was going to be when we started.
It's funny how businesses will do that though,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
so, and the funny, this is the thing I hit back on, like you said, you had this conversation with the person in the mirror, right? Like you had this big conversation, and then 18 months, to get everything kind of in stride. Oh, this is the thing that I want everybody to hear. Like, so over those 18 months, what were those conversations like with the person in the mirror again?
Oh,
Because there had to
man.
be those moments of
God.
like, do I want to do this? Am I like,
Yeah.
am I doing?
What were
We
you
all feel
thinking?
that. Yeah, yeah, we
Right.
all feel
Right.
that. All of us that own our own business and do this thing are like, oh, what am I doing right now?
So it was kind of like it was kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You know what I mean? Because there were obviously moments that I came home and looked at myself in the mirror and said, "What are you thinking?
Right.
Are you kidding me?" And honestly, like I started that off. The very first conversation was all about the fact that I felt like I was too old. I was 42
Yeah.
years old and I felt like I was too old to start my own business. And who's going to take me seriously if I'm 42 years old and just now getting my life together, kind of thing.
Right.
That was the conversation. But ultimately, what ended up being was that, like, I'm new to this area where I was then. I've only been here for 7 years, and I moved here for my corporate position, and my kids are grown. They live in Toledo.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a significant other or a partner, or, I wasn't married. I came here by myself. And so, I mean, honestly, that was probably the best thing because I was able to actually go out and network until I was nearly dead
Right.
for a couple of years. But what that did was it grew my network across everywhere. You know what I mean? And then within a few months, I literally, dude, I was ruthless. I went through, I don't know, probably 3,000 cards in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I literally
bet.
put my card in everyone's hand. Um, but I walked up to people and just talked to them about them, right? Like, listen, I'm a business consultant. Typically, if I say that statement, your eyes glaze over.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They don't want to talk to me no more,
Right.
And so, it was a lot about getting to know people and following up when someone was vulnerable enough to say, my kid is sick, or I'm dealing with some things with my mom, or following up and saying, hey, how's your mom doing?
Right.
Remembering those conversations and creating those connections. And I think that that's what's developed and built the network across the way. um, and it's great. It's great to develop a network, but when you really have actual relationships with people in that kind of regard, you don't have to be present all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that that's really incredible. But it, long and short, I mean, it was going out and just creating that lane all the time, constantly,
Yeah.
having the conversations constantly. And I think what ultimately happened was that I started walking into rooms and it wasn't a room full of people I didn't know anymore.
Mm.
It wasn't a room that I had to work the entire room. And then it became a space where I walked in the room and half of the room was cheering or excited or happy because I walked in, and it was
Right.
like I went from the nobody to being the rock star that walked in the room. And it was like, there were a lot of times that I walked out, like, pinch me moments, like, "Is this really my life? Like,
Yeah.
is this really what is going down right now?" And it's like crazy exciting, and you don't really feel worthy of that kind of love, but at the same time, like, you walk out and you're like, "All right, so let's go do some cool shit."
Right. Right. And then and then you can like have that again, that look in the person in the mirror, like I built this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And you said something there interesting too, that I want real estate agents to really lean in.
Mhm.
Entrepreneurs all over the place, but real estate agents. You went through 3,000 cards, right?
Mhm.
Like just putting the card in, like you said, putting the card in everybody's hand. Now the interesting piece that you said too is like when you say business consultant, people just kind of glaze over a little bit.
Yes.
This is what's funny about real estate agents. Typically, when people find out we're realtors, they kind of light up a little bit because they like HGTV's done this for our business,
Yeah.
right? People are
Oh, yeah.
interested in. Then it's like, well, what's going on with the market? Is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? Right? Should I invest? And so people will start. So we have this advantage that we don't take advantage of,
Sure.
and we just don't put our card in people's hands
Mhm.
enough, right? Um, and you go back and forth, and it's like I don't carry cards with me because what I do is I send it electronically now, right? So because what I do is I say I just did this yesterday. Is when somebody's like, "Do you have your card with you?" I'm like, I just ran out. Now I'm giving my secrets away. I ran out of cards, right? And then I just go ahead and get their phone number from them, and I text them right then.
Right.
But I got their phone number.
Right.
So,
Yep.
so that's my way of doing it now. Because the other problem is, but this is a real estate problem, right? Is we give our number out to everybody. Well, they don't call us. Right. But if I have their number, then I can stay in front of them. Then I can put them in my system, in my CRM, and then I can follow up with them the right way and do all the things that I'm supposed to do. So that's a little bit different, right? But as real estate agents, when we go to networking, we don't network. A lot of times we stand in the corner. I don't ever have that problem, but like we call those secret agents. You know what I mean? We call those secret agents that show up to things and then don't tell everybody that they're a real estate agent.
Right.
And
I think that the easiest way to do things like that is to come up with a 2 or 3 sentence thing like, "Hi, my name's Alisha Congioloso. I own Biz IQology. I service the Tri-County area. I'm a business consultant helping businesses reach their dreams. You know my target audience. You know my name, my business name, what I'm doing, and why I'm here."
Yeah.
In just a couple sentences. But what I followed that up with is, "What do you do?" And we have a conversation about them, not me.
Yeah.
Right. And so that kind of creates that relationship piece. I don't come out the gate. I don't think I've ever asked for a business to sign with me.
Interesting.
Ever. Yeah. They come to me because I can, the conversation is ultimately like we talk about business. And so I can talk about things that have happened or businesses that I've sold. When you go to a networking event, you come home with 25 cards in your pocket. How many times have you thrown them on your desk? And you and I go through them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't.
Right.
And so if you make an impression on the person that you're talking to, and then you hand them a card, they're going to remember the color. Something on that card's going to stand out. And so tomorrow when they look at the pile that they threw on their desk last night, that color is going to stick out. They're going to remember you. They're going to be like, "Oh man, I had a good conversation with that lady last night. I need to call her." And it's instant reminder of whatever we talked about.
It's so true. Oh man. Because there's so many. That's but then the follow up piece comes in, right? Like then it's the follow up. But you're so right, because who do people like talking about more than anything? Themselves. Right. So it's like, what do you do? And then people will just go into this. Now you have to be cautious with your face. Sure. When you do that.
Take it your face has a conversation for you.
Yeah, you have to be cautious with your face to do that, because it's like you talk about that glaze over, right? That glaze over of oh boy, this is going to be really boring. Right. You know what I mean? And then so I have you have to be conscious of your face when that happens.
Yeah,
but no, and you're right. It's just cultivating, creating relationships. Yep. And that's really the truth of any business. And again, like you said yesterday, we were at an event yesterday. And it was, from people from all over, different businesses, different ideas, different things. But at the end of the day, we all still are just trying to build a business. Right. I had great real estate conversations yesterday.
And the panel was about AI.
Yeah, the panel. Yeah, but I had this. Great. Yeah, but it's just that then you have to turn it to what your business is. Like, how does that relate to what I do?
Yep.
Right. And hopefully some sales come out of that. We'll see. But we'll see. But hopefully some sales come out of that. But it is true. But then there's other people there that I can leverage. Yep. Right. That I can leverage for business too. Like, who can I again get this out to? So when you started this networking idea and doing all these things, so and you don't have a problem talking to people, right? Like you knew that, but that was the goal to get out there.
So I want to make one point before we move on. So my card has my signature on it.
Yep.
It's a signature that I paid to have done. I write scribbly like that, but that's just like my stamp, right? I can tell you that I give that business card. I've given that business card out so many times. Got to give a shout out to Dale Hyde of Lithoprinting 586 printer. He's the best guy around here, and he has supplied me with every business card I've ever had.
All 12,000 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say there's probably 12,000 of them out there now. But honestly, like my signature is on there, and I can hand that card to people now, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is you." I'm like, I must have done my job well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's ultimately what we can all hope for, right? Is that when you hand your card out to somebody, that they know who you are.
Yeah.
Without you telling them.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do you know Jason Coletta from Hill Mortgage? So Jason's a good friend of mine, and at Hill Mortgage. But Jason has it's probably like his kindergarten picture on his business card.
That's so funny.
It's the fun, and because he's like in a suit. You know what I mean? It's like Jason, but he's like in a suit with this. He's a little kid, and it's his like kindergarten or first grade picture.
So good.
But now everybody knows that business card.
Yep.
Everybody's like, oh, that's Jason's card.
Yep.
Everybody knows that card because it's him.
Yep.
So if you see one of those now, you're gonna go, oh my God. Now you're gonna put it together, right? Because it's just so unique and stands out. I'm like, man, that is genius.
Yep.
And I go, now nobody else can do it.
Right.
Because then everybody's gonna think it's Jason.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I did it, everybody would be like, oh yeah, is that Jason? It's like, no, it's Jimmy, right? Like so, yeah. But I'm like, if you come up with these ideas of this different, how do I gotta do things differently?
Yeah.
That's one of how can I stand out a little bit. But like you said, that's your signature. And now people notice that.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's for people that are thinking about marketing ideas, it's just the repetition.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
100,000 million%.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I'm trying to do with my E here.
So, and I love that E. I need one of these coffee cups. So to your point, let's think about that for a second. The conversations with every business owner are, what are your biggest expenses? One of those top expenses should be your marketing budget. It should be a conversation with your money on where am I going to spend this to get the best ROI, right?
Right.
And your marketing budget has to be that. And so let's put that into talk the talk and walk the walk, right? Amazon. You see that smiling arrow everywhere.
Everywhere. And you instantly know what it is.
Yes. You don't even have to have the words.
No.
You know that's the Amazon swoop, right? McDonald's. You see the arch?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a half a dozen corny 1-800 them,
Yeah.
It's like there's all of those things, but you know them because they've marketed it to the nth degree to make sure you don't forget it. Amazon ran out of that dude's house for the first 7 years and no one knew he existed.
Right.
Until he started marketing. And then suddenly it's a national, I mean, like, Amazon is huge.
Yeah.
McDonald's is huge.
Yeah.
But more importantly, think about the longevity of brand, right?
Right.
I mean, McDonald's was created, I think 1953. So sorry. 1953, I'm pretty sure, is when they first
somewhere
down. And they've gone through all kinds of crazy changes. Like in
menu
the first
changes, right? Yeah.
Yeah. In the first 7 years, I think that they tried to change their business model and do the burgers different, and it kicked them. That was a tough one. But they're still here.
Yeah.
And you still know where they are. And you still see every other commercial has something to do with McDonald's or that swipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the point. Make sure that you're spending your time, spending your money in your marketing so that the return on investment is leads.
Yeah.
That's it. You gotta make sure no one cares what you're doing if you don't tell them about it. Period.
So say that again.
No one cares what you're doing if they don't know about it.
Yeah. And it's, man, look, that's the other thing too. And talking about logos and brands and all the things, it's simple. It doesn't have to be this exquisite, like, I've had so many agents just like they're going into Canva and they're trying to do this whole like thing. And like you said, yours is a signature, right? Like mine's a letter. It's just an E, right? Like it's all these things are the McDonald's. It's just an M. It's not, you don't even know that it's McDonald's, but it's recognizable when you know that it's McDonald's. Right. It doesn't even say McDonald's, right? The Nike swoosh. Like, I mean, we can go on and on with this, right? And you talked about, remember when Coke changed and did the new recipe?
Yeah.
It like they almost went under.
Mhm.
And people like revolted against it, right? And wouldn't buy it, and so they had to switch back. And then, but then like the marketing genius on that now, because sometimes the people at Coke will tell you they did it on purpose, that they changed it to see, and then it garnered all this attention. So again, that's a risky move. But to your point, though, it's just that continuous. I'm just staying out here all the time, right? You come up with this signature. And again, it's beautifully written. It's a signature, and but that now it just becomes the thing all the time because it's the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so, and then
it's identifiable.
It's identifiable. And then if you talk about the rule of three, right? Commercials, they'll tell you it has to be said 3 times.
Yep.
All those things. So, but you're right. But and I think the biggest key to this whole thing of where you're going to is though. When you go to a networking event, it's still talking to people. It's still putting that card in people's hands. It's still having that conversation because people will remember you. And then they're like, oh, then it's like you said, it's when they put the two together and they say, oh, that's your card.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Yeah. And I've walked into some places that like I walked into Starbase over the summer and I handed the lady that was working in there on the military base.
Yeah.
I handed her my card and she looked at me like I had a third eye and she was like, "This is you?"
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah. Right. Great.
I mean, I played it off cool on the outside, but on the inside, I was dying a little bit like, wow, this is so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about distribution.
It is. And so as many networking events you've done and you built your business, like again, like you said, the first 18 months is just like I was a crazy woman just doing networking. When you go to an event like that, and this is what's important for listeners, and again, whether listening now or later, but do you lay out a plan for that? Like I know events are different, but are you walking into an event thinking I need to talk to X amount of people or?
No, and so I don't set my own goals for that because 2 things. I'm fairly confident I'll walk up to anybody and talk to them, and 2, I can talk the paint off the walls. Like I don't, I'm not a shy person. Now, from my business's standpoint, like people that I work hands on with, if they tell me, I have a hard time in this space. Honestly, this is one of those things, right? I'm like, put 7 cards in your right pocket, 7 business cards in your left pocket. You're not allowed to leave until the 7 out of your right pocket are gone. And so if you go and you spend those 7 out of your right pocket, the next time you go, you're typically going to have about 50% of those that are your friends and you know them and you're a little bit more comfortable now, right?
Yeah.
But you still have 7 cards in each pocket that you have to distribute and that can't go to the 3 or 4 that are in the room that you already know. It's got to go to somebody else.
Interesting.
And so before you know it, you're going through all 7 in both pockets and you know the people in the room.
Right.
But if you set a goal before you walk in the room and you say, I'm gonna make sure that this many business cards of mine get in someone else's hand. And I have, solid conversations with them. And again, if you're shy, if you're uncomfortable, if you just don't feel, if you're just not feeling it that day, because listen, I don't mind to go anywhere, right? But there are some days that I just don't want to.
Yeah, 100%.
If you have a don't want to, just push through the first couple. Typically that kind of falls away because it's fun to have those good conversations.
Yeah.
And, but that's what I tell my business consulting businesses, like 7 in one side, 7 in the other. You can't leave until these are gone.
Yeah, it's interesting. In those days that you're talking about, we call those water the plant days, right? I know what I have to do today, right? If I don't water that plant, it's going to die, right?
Yes.
So if I got to go give 7 away, I'm going to go give 7 away and I'm out.
And I'm leaving, yep.
But I've given my 7 away, right?
Yep, I did what I needed.
And maybe I didn't have great conversation, but at least I had a conversation. Right, well, whatever. But at least I did my 7.
Yep.
And those are the water the plant day. You still have to go do it, right? But I'm out as soon as I'm done with what I have to do.
Yep.
Because look, we people a lot, right? Yes. And I get done peopling sometimes.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It's exhausting sometimes.
It is. It can be. And it's, again, these big events.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, we've got the regional rally coming up. So I'm hosting the EXP regional rally March 19th. And, it's going to be 500 agents.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on stage with Kim all day. You know what I mean? Like it's that's a lot,
tiring,
right?
yeah.
And what people don't realize is the back end of it, right? Who do we get this? Who do we get to talk? Who do we get to be up there? Can I make sure you're going to be here, right? I've got to make sure I got a slot for you.
Don't tell me 12 hours before you're not
Correct.
coming.
Right. So, but yeah, the people don't understand the back end of putting an event together.
Yeah.
People are like show up, and if the great part is, in every event that I've been to of yours, it's seamless, right? It doesn't. I know what took on the backside to make that look that way, and there might have been stuff that went wrong, but you just didn't notice.
Yeah.
You noticed.
Yep. I took note.
Yeah, you noticed, but like people at the thing didn't notice, right? And Tara Chody from Real Producers, another one, puts on these high level events, and it's just like, and you two can tell me there's a million things that went wrong with these events, but people at the event had no idea.
No, that's. That makes me think of our business expo that happens every year in September. So this will be the third year. September 16th will be the third year that we've done this. And last year, we had two things that happened that were just kind of like, like crap, that can't, that can't happen.
Right.
But outside of like that's the whole thing. We had conversations. I had conversations with my board after that. And they were like, everything looks so great. It looks so smooth, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, we had a couple of hiccups, this, that, and the other. And no one in the room knew that we had anything. It was a whisper. Hey, go take care of this. Can you please, it's a slide my debit card across, into someone's pocket and be like, can you go fix this?
Yeah. Right.
But it's like, that's the whole idea. You don't want anyone to know. You don't want it to disrupt the event itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, our expos they're amazing. They're so fun. The atmosphere is off the hook, and you're right. Those couple of little things, they happen on the backside, but nobody in the room knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. They just have fun.
Yeah, and again, that's us as that put on events. We notice those things. Not everybody notices all those things. So, what's it like putting on your first event?
Oh God. The first time that we did the business expo, that first year, oh man, by the time that was done, dude, I had jet lag for 3 days after that event. Yeah. But that was a big event. We had almost 100 businesses show up, set up tables, and just have a great time, And so I gotta shamelessly give a plug for the expo. My director William Sweet of The Sweet is Clean is actually running the expo now, and he's responsible for all of that chaos. But it's going to be so amazing, right? So every year we open this up to local businesses, and we do our best to bring businesses that don't know each other to this room. And to me, it creates an atmosphere and a culture that happens only in this place that is literally so electric. It is incredible. Like last year, we had people just walking in the door, like local business owners that said, you know what, I don't have the bandwidth right now to set up a table. I have kids in, football or whatever the thing was. But I just want to stop by. Can I just stop by? And I'm like, yeah, man, come on in and hang out with us. That's the whole point. It's about building business. And so they come in and they're so excited because the room is lit. I mean, the energy is fantastic. And we do things a little bit different from an expo standpoint. Like, one, we want the community to come in and meet their local business owners. So the advertising to the community is off the hook. But two, it's, like we have Miss Mixology come in. She's a mobile bartender. And so we have alcoholic, non-alcoholic, water, whatever, but there's always something to drink in it. And that, kind of adds. We have a DJ and we're playing good music, and we do raffles, and we have, the balloon guy, and there's so many things that happen in this place to kind of create an energy and an excitement in that room. And it's all about, I literally go into different communities. I know you're going to think I'm crazy for this, but I literally walk down the street and I will walk in and shake people's hand and give them the flyer and invite them.
Yeah.
Whether you're coming as an attendee,
we're going to make a real estate agent out of you.
Or listen, one more iron in the fire.
Why not?
But
You're already doing all the things real estate agents should be doing.
Yeah. But so whether they come as an attendee or they come as a vendor, they're there. They come, and it's electric. It's exciting. It's not your same old humdrum stuffed shirt kind of environment.
Right.
And it's typically in a time where it's nice outside. So we have the doors open and we have things going on. This year we're going to have we're going to have a coffee truck outside. We're going to have an ice cream truck outside. Like, we're gonna have all these awesome things happening. I think we got six food trucks planned for the day.
That's
and
awesome. Where is it?
So it'll be,
give us the details.
So it'll be held at the Packard Proving Ground on Van Dyke in Shelby Township.
Okay.
It will open at 3:00 and close at 8. And again, we will have so much. Three Phoenix Entertainment has come in to be the DJ. We'll have speakers all throughout the entire property. So, you can hear the music, you can hear the announcements. We'll have Miss Mixology out slinging drinks and doing her thing. Her bartenders are absolutely incredible, and they always have so much fun. Who are our other vendors that we have for sure? Dale will obviously do all of our printing and things, but the property itself will just, there will be a walkthrough that happens. You'll get to see everybody. There's a bingo card happening this year that I'm pretty excited about too. So you can get in on this bingo. It's for the kids that come in. They'll get a bingo card that has different logos on it. And the kid gets a prize if they go to each one of these things and get a bingo, right? So it kind of entices for the parents to get to the different tables and just make sure. And when the kid goes up and says, "Hey, you're on my bingo card," they get a sucker or they get some kind of, fancy thing or whatever, little gift at that table. But I think my most favorite piece of this is that we're partnering with I Care of Michigan and Friends of Foster Kids this year to do a warm clothing drive.
Oh, that's awesome.
For kids. So we'll have a U-Haul parked out front at the welcome table this year, and we'll have a selfie station this year. And and it's really just about making sure that we can give back to the community. I think that this organization, which we will actually talk about what impact is in a minute here, but I think the philanthropic opportunities that we've had so far to kind of invest back into the community and invest back into the business community specifically has been pretty amazing. But this particular thing, being able to support the local kids in this community and just make sure that they have little things like a coat to wear when it's cold outside,
right.
Or a birthday basket. We're going to put baskets together, bags this year that have the birthday cake and the icing and the candles and a little crown for little girls, things like that,
right.
to make sure that they have opportunities for birthday celebrations.
I love that. So that's September
16th at 3:00.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So on that note, follow the Impact Business Community on Facebook.
Yep.
Or just go to impactbusinessmi.com. All of the information will be there. You can sign up to be a vendor, or you can donate a raffle item, or just donate to I Care or Friends of Foster Kids and help our local teens be okay, or our local kids anyways.
Yeah. No, I love it. And again, the ability to give back, right? It's the one of those things you find out the more you give away, the more you receive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's given those opportunities, and you're putting a lot of businesses together. You're putting businesses forefront. A lot of businesses, and it's funny because everybody thinks, "Oh, you own a business, you must have a lot of money."
Yeah,
it's like, no, I'm running out of it. I have a business because I
have a marketing budget.
Yeah, and so that's. So your impact business, right? Is that where the idea came from? Was like, how do I just help these guys from running through money?
So what it boils down to is this. So all those couple of years that I invested my time and energy into building Biz IQology, which is my business consulting firm. We've been talking about this entire time. I don't think I've actually said the name out loud yet. So the bottom line was that I didn't have enough minutes in the day You
Right.
know, I have so many people knocking on the door saying, man, I need to know how to A, B, or C. And for me, I have a very firm policy that we spend 20% of the time identifying the problem and we spend 80% of the time solving it. Find a solution. It's great to identify the problem and it's great to talk it to death if you really want to, but that wastes a lot of time. And so find the solution, create the solution, and go forward. Right.
Right.
And so for me, everything is about action. I don't sit on anything. And sometimes that's my detriment.
Sure.
'Cause
Sure.
I'm always taking a long jump off a short cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Not a lot of runway.
right. But ultimately, I have to develop a platform that allows people to gain the education that they're looking for because that's what they're calling me for, right? Call to
Right.
action, make something happen. Um, but how do we do that and support business as well, right? So the concept, the foundation of impact business community is simply this. It is about building business. The why behind this is Michigan's business economy. We have to invest in businesses to keep their doors open.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make sure that the employers stay educated, stay in business, and move forward so that the doors don't close and employees are not losing their jobs. We can talk about losing businesses across the state, but a lot of times we forget to talk about all of the employees that lost their jobs.
Right.
And how does that affect their homes, right? There are babies out there that, these moms and dads are going home and like the business closed today. And now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to feed my family next week. They're living paycheck to paycheck or they're, you know, whatever the bottom line is. And so we have to invest in the businesses. So the foundation of impact business community is this. We facilitate the opportunity to teach peer-to-peer education, which means for you, you could come in to the room and teach the things that you know. Let's say real estate, right? So we bring a bunch of these real estate agents in. You come in and you talk about real estate,
Yeah.
what it means, how do you do it, how do you walk the walk. Now you've invested in this entire room, but it's intimate. People know, like, and trust you before they walk out the door because they can glean your character, your moral value, your business ethics, and they know who you are before that 90 minutes or 3 hours is up,
Right.
right? And so you've essentially done a few things. You possibly expanded your customer base. You should have gained clients or whatever connections that feed you from a financial end. But you also created 100 referral partners in the room because now everybody knows who you are and what you do.
Yep.
They can clearly go out and talk about you because you invested in them. And to me, that is your immediate ROI from coming in and donating your time and investing in that room. From a marketing standpoint, like you gain market share as well because we put your headshot on the flyers and we market it to God and everyone
Right.
throughout the community to make sure that we have attendance.
Everybody's going to get a flyer.
Right. And so you gain in market share, you gain in lead generation, you gain in referral partnerships from a presenter standpoint. But ultimately, every attendee walks out the door a better business owner than they walked in because they're educated in that particular area. And a lot of times we don't know what experts we actually need in our panel of experts that we need from a business ownership
Right.
standpoint. And this is a great time to give Justin Barton of Connection a great plug.
It's funny you say that because Justin just commented on here. Impact is a great resource for business owners.
I love Justin. Listen, first of all, that guy he is the source of my sanity.
Oh man, and I'm throwing Connection back up on the
Yes.
screen too. So.
Yeah, Justin is a great human being, and such an amazing support system to me. And Impact would not exist without him and Connection. It just wouldn't. The dashboard that I have and all of the operations that happen outside of, on the backside, I guess, we've been talking about all of those things that happen that nobody sees. Connection is the thing that makes Impact move without anyone seeing it.
Yeah.
Every newsletter, every text message, every affiliate that we have, everything that we have, marketing, automations, data collection, contacts, media storage, every single thing that we have goes into that particular dashboard. And it's literally, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Anyway, where were we going
Yeah.
with that? I stopped and I started talking about Justin, and I got off on the
And then Justin commented,
Yeah,
and that,
yeah, you
that
know,
threw us
yeah.
all off. No, but it was about impact. I mean,
Yeah.
like the where that
Yep.
where the impact came
Yep.
from.
And so, back to that room. I mean, you walk out with all the referral partners that you need to help build your business, and the attendees, they understand what their expert panel looks like now.
Yeah.
In some regard, it's kind of like Paula White. She owns Symmetrical Solutions, and she is an accountant, bookkeeper. She's a QuickBooks genius, right?
Okay.
And so she comes into the room, and she is direct and solid in what she offers the room. Everyone in that room is better when they walk out because of her investment. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they understand QuickBooks in a completely different way. They understand how to develop their P&L, which is a huge thing. You would not believe how many business owners operate without a P&L.
Oh, I would.
Oh my God.
Remember, I work with real estate agents.
Right.
Who most, and again, no knock on real estate agents. I
No.
love you all.
Yes.
I'm one of you.
I love you too.
But most don't even operate with a P&L,
Yeah.
right? They don't even.
Right.
That's one of the things that I sit down with it, and we structure out. We call it our success sprint, right?
Mhm.
And this through the success sprint is when we start to talk about that.
Yep.
What are your marketing dollars? What are you spending on
Yep.
your business, right? We have board dues, we have, broker fees, we have all these expenditures, signs, business cards, and where a lot of times most businesses, and you know this, businesses have holes in their boat everywhere, and money just is leaking out,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
don't even really know what it's. A $20 subscription here, it's a
Yeah,
$10
yep.
subscription there, it's, I paid for parking on this day. All of those are business expenses,
Yep.
right? And you
Yep.
have to take control of those
Yep.
somewhere, and
Yep.
you have to know what you're spending.
Yeah.
And if you don't, get a business consultant, right? Figure out where your money is going first, because you may be making more than you think.
Yeah.
It's just leaking out
Well,
somewhere.
so that's the whole thing. So that'll get me on a soapbox real quick. So what it boils down to is, how do you know if you are growing your business year over year if you're not tracking that?
Mm-hmm.
And so, to your point, right? There's so many people that they're not sure if they're making any money. They don't know how much money they're actually making. And if they got those things in tune, they would recognize the less than or the more than they think it is there. And that gives you the opportunity to create goals and projections and understand where you're going to take your business in the
Right.
next year, in the next rolling 12 months, and then in the next quarter, if that's the furthest out you can go for right now. Listen, that's money, man.
It's a
Set the
start.
goals.
Yeah.
Start small and just get something on the books, to understand where you're headed. Because that's the place when you say, okay, last year I did 1.5 million in overall sales, and this year I want to grow by 20%. What does 20% look like? And
Right.
what months are you going to gain 23%? And what months are you going to gain 11%? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because every business has a season. And if you don't identify those, so that process looks like, sit down and write down what your total sales were for every month last year, and then decide how much your business is going to grow as an overall for this year and
Yeah.
these next rolling 12 months, right? And then you create sales goals for the entire month. And so you know what your projections are for each one of those months. You can optimize on things like, if you're a bakery, in March, you can play off of March Madness. You can play off of St. Patrick's Day. You can,
Yeah.
And so think about the marketing aspect of that. How am I going to, or what has to be true for me to hit these goals? How am I going to do this? And put some action items down. And don't be like, oh yeah, I'm going to post on Facebook. Yeah,
Right.
no one, yeah, really? What are you going to post on Facebook? I
Yeah.
want to know the details, right? Give yourself that plan. It allows you to kind of create those quarterly goals that helps you grow your business.
Yeah.
Overall.
And find someone that can help you.
Yeah.
Right.
For real.
Find somebody that can help you, because And again, I tell you, as I'm, coaching agents too, I don't I don't know this stuff because I haven't done it.
Mhm.
I know it because I screwed up a lot.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like, I've screwed up a lot throughout this time and
Yeah.
throughout doing things. And
Mhm.
again, whether I was on the corporate side, or in the entrepreneur side, like, but you screwed things up. So
Yep.
I can help steer you around some
Yeah.
of this stuff,
Yep.
if you so choose.
Right.
Right. But it's asking the
Yep.
questions and putting yourself around the right people. But
Mhm.
it's again, it's not because we figured it all
Right.
out. It's
Right. No.
because we just ran into
Experiences.
the wall a few times
Yes.
and then figured out there's a
Yep.
door over there.
Experience is the best teacher ever.
Oh,
Ever.
it's the best and the worst, right?
Yes.
Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because
you-
lessons learned
yeah,
hurt.
there's
Right.
only one way to learn
Yeah.
that the stove's hot.
Dang.
Like, you
Yeah.
got to touch it and then
Yep.
you figure out that it's hot.
So impact goes further than just the education things. We have workshops, we have conferences, but we also have social aspects of things, right? Because the whole idea is to get new people in the room.
Yeah.
We all go to those events that are repeatable, and the same 20 faces are in the same 20 rooms, and I mean, I bet you right now off the cuff I could give you 160 seconds of different people that I know, or create one because I know them so well.
Right.
um, and so, in the idea of growing business, we need to go into different communities and bring new people out. And they don't necessarily have to be new business owners. They're just new to us. And so we try to go into different communities and do an after hours event every month. Going into different communities and doing a coffee social every month. That's the idea, is to bring new people
Right.
to the table, and create new partnerships and go into different areas. And so sometimes, people grumble at me that, oh my God, it's so far away. And I'm like, but, but you could meet 20 people that you don't know.
Right.
And that's just a great way to, to support your business. So we have some really cool, programs actually launching as well that I want to make sure that we get time for. I know we're running short. I've enjoyed this so much. Like, this is such a good conversation.
The hour goes by a lot faster than everybody
does.
thinks. Everybody's
It
like, an
does.
hour?
Yeah.
I'm like, trust me, it'll go by much faster than you think it
Yeah.
is. So, Impact, hit us up on that. Where is Impact? Like, and what does it do?
So basically it's an incubator, for building business, right? We provide education, and several different aspects of things. But it's all about building business from a peer-to-peer education standpoint, from a social aspect. But I think that we needed to go the extra mile, and really kind of niche down and be specific to the information or the education that we were providing. And so we developed a couple of different programs that are launching in Q1 that I am literally so stoked about. I can't stand it. The first one is Innovate. So it's 8 different groups that focus on a specific niche inside of business, a solopreneur. The presenters that are going to come into this group are all focused towards a one-man band, a solopreneur. We have an entrepreneur group. We have a group that's leadership and management, branding and visibility, marketing and strategy. Justin Barton is doing sales and motivation, totally right in his alley.
Yeah.
But each one of these is, I mean, if you think about it, like these small groups, like the world is polluted with small groups. But the intimacy is important because it builds relationships, right? The part of the reason that there's so many small groups that are fizzling out right now is because they're doing the same thing that they've been doing for the last 20 years, and it's boring and not working anymore. So we're all about shaking things up and breaking the rules around here. I mean, that's the best part about this. And so we brought to the table a way to give everybody the opportunity to come in and be a presenter in these small group settings, 20 people. Provide education to those people, grow your business, but then sit at the roundtable discussion that happens at the end and grow your own business, grow relationships, have that discussion about not only about what we learned, but it's also about developing those relationships that you can count on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we all need that group of support system that we can say, I had a really bad week. I had an employee do something really stupid this week, and it screwed me up, and I'm having a hard time. And you can't go home and talk to your family about that because most of them don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I can't call my best friend and be like,
Right.
my business is jacked up, because she doesn't even understand what that. She has a corporate job. She
Right.
doesn't know. So it's intimate and it builds the relationships, but it's also a space where you can learn something new. They're bi-weekly, so it's not a huge time investment, but it is an investment into your own education and the foundation of your own business. And each one of these groups, you can move from group to group. So if you start off in the entrepreneur space, and you're like, all right, I got my foundation set, I feel pretty good about where I'm at, I need to go to branding and visibility because I need to reset my brand personality, my brand voice, my brand tone, and my visibility. You can move to that group, invest there for as long as you need, and then go to leadership if that's what you need. So this group allows for you to move throughout, and just gain the education that you need. It's also got a mobile app component to it, because we have developed a community that's specific to the Innovate people.
Right.
So you can communicate with the people across the program, literally by picking up your phone.
Yeah.
And you have access to every person in the community, not just in your group.
It's awesome. And
Yeah.
one of the things that is so important about what you said too is it's not just a one size fits all.
No.
It's like you have all these pieces inside of there.
Yep.
And if I go to this one for 90 days,
Yep.
right? Now
Yep.
I can go, all right, I think I have this part of my business healed,
Mhm.
right? So now I can go to this leadership, and then how do I become a better leader? Like,
Right.
or I can go to marketing and branding, or I can go
Yep.
to sales and motivation, right? And so it's not a one size fits all thing.
Right.
You have this broken out into how many sections is it broken out to?
So we have 8 groups.
Okay.
Yep. So there are 8 separate groups with great leaders. There's actually a public speaking group, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
Because there are people that can't jump onto this and talk like you and I have
Right.
for the last hour, right? Or they struggle to walk into a room and actually talk about their business, whether it's one-on-one or in front of a group. And so this is meant to build some of those confidences by building business acumen and business language. Right? It's all about that investment on how do you present yourself. Because I mean, bottom line, you can't decide how someone else is going to perceive you, but you can make a decision on how you're going to present yourself.
Yes.
And that is so important.
Yes.
Um,
And the public speaking part to me is super important because again, it's what we do. It's what you. I mean, I do it a lot, right?
Mhm.
So, but it's that piece of what's your content like?
Yeah.
What's your delivery
Right.
like? Is it landing?
Yes.
Or do I have people falling asleep?
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
all those, there's little tips and tricks to public speaking too. There's a
Yep.
billion of them.
Yep.
Right. Like, so like people think, well, I'm just going to move.
Mhm.
Well, it's like, well, why are you just moving?
Yeah.
Like that's distracting.
Yeah.
Now, if you're moving with purpose,
Yep. This is
and
the direction I'm going.
right. That's now I'm moving with purpose. Or my favorite thing is when I get close to people,
Mhm.
they sit up a little more.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap, he's getting close to me. Right. Like,
Right.
so when you're doing public speaking, if you get close to someone, they sit up more
Yep.
and now they're really
They're
intense,
attentive.
right?
Yeah.
Now they're really caught because, and then again, you just, as you're moving, as you're getting closer to people, it makes people really uncomfortable.
Mhm. So before we jump off of here, we have one more program that's launching in a couple of days that I'm
We've got
so
about
stoked.
2 minutes.
All right. So the Skilled Trades Alliance is launching February 28th. This is open to all business owners that fall into the skilled trades industry. We have keynote speakers coming to talk about the experience that we've been talking about, right?
Right.
What they learned and what they wish, or what the hard lessons learned anyway. It's about collaboration. It's about building an alliance. It's about building resources. And we're going to be talking about things like, are your contracts built to cover you in a court system or in a dispute? What does your liabilities look like? What does your marketing look like? Do you need an expert there?
Right.
We'll have Paula White come from, for an accounting standpoint. So we're gonna deep dive into all the different things, and then we're gonna have lunch.
Lunch is always important.
It is. You gotta end with lunch.
Oh man, this hour goes by fast.
It does.
And where can
Thank
everybody
you.
find you?
impactbusinessmi.com.
Okay.
Or you can call me at 586-804-1616.
Okay. Say the number one more time.
586-804-1616.
There you go. But Impact Business Network, Business IQology, it's on socials, guys.
Yes.
It's everywhere. So you can find it everywhere. Find her. She's amazing and putting businesses together and helping people out. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So appreciate y'all guys jumping in this morning and having this time with us. I'll see you guys next week. Sharing and collaborating, making the mark. Bright lights in our eyes, ignite the spark.